Alright everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Spyro 3. Welcome back to episode 3 it is this time. Even though I think Oh no, I did call this episode 3. Okay, good lord, I am losing my shit rapidly, but you knew that already. So, welcome to Sunnyvale. This is the first real main world, I guess, in Spyro 3. This is like, I don't know, they shove it in your face, so it's probably the first episode or first part that you're intended to actually go play, but we decided to do it second because, well, you can't 100% this unless you go to Sheila's Alp first. So that is exactly what we decided to try to do, and that is exactly what we did. Now, one thing is that, again, we're still suffering from the problems of last episode. We've got this and then one more episode because Sunnyvale is split into two parts for your viewing pleasure, my playing pleasure, I guess. But yeah, so we're still suffering from that audio problem for another episode and then this one. Sorry, but I will most certainly try to have the kinks worked out by next time. Now, yeah, that's kind of the thing with me coming back, is that I am still trying to work out the kinks on, well, how exactly to record. So, especially because this is a new style to me. I mean, my original channel was done post-commentary, but I haven't done post-commentary in quite some time. But I also didn't want to record because I didn't want to have to go out and about and then replay it all again. Especially for one thing that you'll see that happens at, what is it, tomorrow's episode? Tomorrow's episode, yeah. Tomorrow's episode! Because, well, I cut around a little bit just to, I don't know, save some sanity or something. I know the pitch is also, if you're listening to the pitch and you're used to the North American version, the pitch does sound odd, but apparently that's actually how it sounds in the European version of the soundtrack, which is kind of odd, I guess, but I guess it goes along a bit with the PAL thing with the, because Spyro 3 for PAL has, I just spit all over the microphone. Spyro 3 for PAL has some really weird setup things because, well, PAL, if you don't know, runs at 25 frames instead of at 30, so they actually tried to customize movements of things to actually make it feel like it was running at the same speed as North American version, and some of it's successful, some of it's unsuccessful, but one of the things is that I think they had to adjust the music, which is why that this version sounds differently, but this is the one thing I could find easily, because I did not feel like hunting for a tremendous amount of time. Just trying to bring this here. Good lord, stop yawning. It is not that late in the afternoon. It is only like 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I'm recording this. I do not know why I am so exhausted, but I want to show you guys one thing, because, well, if you've never played this game before, you might not realize this, but if you have, you obviously know what this is. But there's one thing over here that like when I figured out how to do, like, blew my mind as a kid. The fact that you could just glide over here, and I mean, I know for the most part, people who started with the first ones kind of are used to this by now, but it blew my mind because, like, this is like the first part where I actually figured that kind of crap out, because I got all 3 of them at the same time. I didn't have one before the other or anything like that. I think I got them all as an Easter present, as ironic as that is. Kind of fitting we're starting around Easter, I guess. I recall it being an Easter present or something like that. I don't know why it was Easter of all things, but apparently it was. That's what my memory is telling me, at least. But yeah, so I got them all in a collector's edition bundle. I don't remember exactly what year. Maybe Easter, like, I honestly don't know. I couldn't even take a guess if I wanted to try. Was the collector's edition out Easter 99? I really don't remember. And if it is, that would probably be the first memory I actually have. Maybe Easter 2000. I don't remember. I truly don't. That is like the border of my memory. But I do have memories of, like, playing, well, the skateboard level coming up here. Giant chicken! That guy has a really big cock. Can I say that on the internet? Probably. Who cares? Anyway. I didn't clip anything, did I? No. Okay, good. I was thinking I clipped that for a second and screaming that, but I did not. We are safe. Safe and sound. But yeah, I have memories of, especially this game and the whole skate park thing coming up in the next episode. Playing this with my cousin. Or at my cousin's house and with my cousin and all that other fun stuff. And, well, that's the reason I played Spyro back then. That's the way I am today. By the way, I am flaming the trees. And for those of you who don't realize this, because this is one of the more hidden aspects of the game, is that there are certain things in this game which will get you a skill point, which is good for an extra life. And not much more. Yeah, it's about it. But one of the things that I remember pretty clearly, I don't remember what like any of them are except for this one, but you get a pretty easy one in this level just from flaming all of these little trees. And it really just kind of shows the attention to detail that they put in this level, that you can just walk around and flame trees and get yourself an extra life. Spyro's a weird game. Don't question it. But as you can see, we are up to 11 eggs. We are racking them in pretty quickly, if I must say so myself. But here we're gonna have a little cut here because, well, I was originally planning on going to the skate park this episode, but I realized that the skate park was actually longer than the Sheila thing that I showed earlier. And there's the skill point, by the way. The skate park is actually a little bit longer, and I was trying to show off the skill points here, but I actually realized that I can't do that because they're not, the section doesn't show up, I guess, until after you beat the game or something. So you can't actually see that. So you get a little bit of a preview of what's to come, I guess, level name-wise. But I was originally going to try to go to the skate park now, but I realized that would not work because, well, it would work. I could do it perfectly fine, but because I wanted to use Sunnyvale to do 2 episodes so that I could do, like, I don't know, a bunch of different episodes, I decided to come over here in post. So that's going to explain the gem disparity and have the 2 extra eggs from the skate park because, well, I've already done that in the recording, but hang tight because, yeah, this is a little bit shorter than the skate park because there are 2 eggs in the skate park, which is why I have 5 out of 6 already. And whereas before we had just gotten the 11th egg, now we're on to 13, getting the 14th. So that is the thing. But we're gonna get our last Sheila level for a little while because I think there's a couple more coming up later in the game. But we'll have 2 Sheila episodes back to back, I guess. This one's a little bit more of a vertical thing, which is kind of weird for the Spyro games because it doesn't exactly, the camera doesn't really handle it that well, to be honest. Because Sheila's camera, especially on active mode, it's like the one time of the game I really should switch to passive. I'm fine with active for the most part on Spyro levels, but just because Sheila's model is so much bigger, the camera chasing her very actively doesn't really do her very good, and with Sheila's odd controls, it's hard to describe unless you feel them, but like with Sheila, it really feels like she's more playing like butter, and it's a little bit harder to control. I mean, it's also hard for me to describe just because I kind of know what I'm talking about because I've played these games for years. But yeah, that part I actually managed to take the guy out at the exact same time he managed to get a hit on me. But yeah, so that is kind of I don't even remember where I started that segue from. I do remember me getting hit a lot because, well, I remember this is kind of a pain in the ass at some points to try to get through this. And there's one part where they were a dick and they trapped one of those guys at the very front. Not this part, the next one. But yeah, so we're on our last Sheila level for a while, which should be kind of nice. Get us back to actual Spyro, because I really do prefer playing as Spyro for the most part. Not that the buddies are bad. I don't. There's better and worse ones, but I really ultimately do just prefer playing as Spyro. They don't add enough to the game for me to justify wanting to play as them constantly. Like, some of them are cool mechanics, but really Spyro is the tried and tested one, I guess, is probably the improper way to put that. I don't know. I mean, it's also weird for me because I think I mentioned this in part 1, but I've played Spyro 3 the least out of all the other Spyros. Like, I've played 1 and 2 so many times. And not that I haven't played 3 so many times, but I've only played 3 all the way through it a handful of times compared to the others. So that's why when we get towards the end of the game, my knowledge of this game is going to be a little bit more limited because, well, just I haven't done it in a while. And honestly, I don't think I've done it in the past 5 years or so. I don't think I've played all the way through it. And it's been a while. It's been some time since I've done that. So it'll be kind of an interesting thing for me to see the end of this game again and see what I screwed up. Now, if you're not careful like me, you will skip gems that are on the edge of the platform here, so make sure you go ahead and pick those up because I had to come back for that one later, and I just there's one right behind Sheila right now, and I could have solved all of our problems, but I completely chose to avoid it and come back here later after looking around. Yeah, because I had to do a little bit of gem hunting. There was, like, one for Sheila, that one that I just pointed out, and then there was, like, one actually in the main thing, but that is okay because I got to point out something more important that you will get to see in the next episode because I think we're actually running pretty close here to the end of this one, if memory serves. Because, yes, we have our quote-unquote last dragon egg, even though you haven't seen the skate park yet, so that'll be coming next for you guys because, well, it's kind of important that we show off the skate park because that's one of the things I remember most being different about this game, because they actually tried a lot of things for Spyro 3. That's the weird thing, is that Spyro 3 feels like a big experiment. Yeah, here's that gem. Spyro 3 feels like an experiment, is what I was trying to say.